The floor was littered with broken glass. Abel had somehow knocked over an expensive vase that Bridget had gotten during a business trip to Italy. "What have you done to my house?" she screamed in disbelief. Bridget Lucas was the definition of success, a millionaire entrepreneur. She had built her empire from the ground up, navigating the corporate world with grace, ambition, and an iron will. But tonight, none of that mattered. She had spent the entire day pitching new ideas to investors, attending meetings, and overseeing the expansion of her company. By the time the evening came, she was utterly exhausted. Yet, there was one more thing to do: take care of her baby. Her 9-month-old son, Abel, was teething, and the poor little guy had been fussy all day. Bridget, ever the supermom, managed to balance her business calls with soothing Abel, all while making sure the house ran smoothly. But as the night stretched on, her energy waned, and soon she found herself sitting on the couch, cradling Abel in her arms. The warmth of the baby and the soft hum of the night lured her into a trance. Her eyelids grew heavy. She fought it for a while, thinking she couldn't afford to rest. But eventually, exhaustion won. Bridget, in her deepest sleep, let go of the tiny bundle in her arms. Abel, however, wasn't about to let his mom sleep too long. When Bridget woke up, the house was eerily quiet. She blinked a few times, disoriented, her mind struggling to piece together the events that led to this moment. She checked her watch. Almost 2 hours had passed. Panic surged through her veins. Abel, she leapt up, searching the house. She found him in the living room, happily gurgling and pulling at the shiny gold frame mirror on the wall. He had managed to crawl, of course, and as she reached him, she scanned him for any injuries, but there was none. She realized just how much damage he had caused. The floor was littered with broken glass, and Abel had somehow knocked over an expensive vase that Bridget had gotten during a business trip to Italy. The mirror was cracked, and there were pieces of a decorative sculpture shattered on the carpet. Abel looked up at her with innocent eyes, blissfully unaware of the chaos he had caused. Bridget couldn't help but laugh, though the sound was tinged with disbelief. The house, her sanctuary of luxury and elegance, had been turned into a miniature disaster zone by a baby who wasn't even old enough to walk properly. She took a deep breath, kneeling beside him and gathering him into her arms. "Well, buddy," she murmured, "I think we've learned an important lesson tonight, and your father is going to hear of this." For the first time in a long while, Bridget realized that as much as she had worked to build an empire, there were things more precious than gold and luxury. Things like her son's laughter, the bond between them, and the moments that couldn't be bought or planned. The vase could be replaced, the mirror could be fixed, but the memory of this moment would stay with her forever. And in the grand scheme of things, that was what truly matters. As she cleaned up the mess with Abel by her side, she smiled. "I might have lost few expensive items, but I had gained something more priceless: perspective." After cleaning up the mess, she picked up her phone and informed her husband, who went on a business trip. When she gave him the news of what their son had done, he burst into laughter. "Well, thank God he didn't sustain any injury. And I guess you have to get a help in the house for the meantime, for times like this," he said. As the call ended, she knew her husband was right. A help for the meantime would work. The next day, she got in touch with an agency that had well-trained staff to take care of children. The agency sought out the perfect match for her, and the lady resumed immediately. The lady looked like she was in her late 30s. This is a gentle reminder of what women go through, but they still manage to keep the home. Even with their personal activities, they still sacrifice to keep things in order at home. Treat all mothers with love and care. Hope you enjoyed this story. See you in my next story.